Well, greetings and salutations, whoever's joining us live this morning.
Oh, good morning, Connie. She's been waiting for an hour. She made a comment. She's like, I'm ready. And thanks for sharing it out.
That's awesome. Love it. Well, good morning, Connie. Hopefully your wait has been worth it.
Well, hopefully. Yeah, we'll just wait for some other people to pop on and join us in here. Meanwhile, we just want to say, who are we? Thanks for changing my name thing. We are Feng Shui with Anita and Cheryl.
This way.
I don't know if I'm pointing the right way or not.
Probably not. I'm just going to do this because in my screen,
it's that way. It's opposite on my screen. Anyway, and every Friday we go live and we, chat about Feng Shui, and we use the Personal Paradise card deck by our friend teacher, Sarah Catherine Collins. And Cheryl is shuffling, so we know what our topic of the day is. Yeah. And then, of course, we wear these funny glasses because, just because,
Those glasses would go better for me and my purple and my flowers, I think.
Yeah. And so we can chi clearly, right? This is so we can chi clearly. Oh, and I have to say, while you're still shuffling, good morning, Kathy. From last week, last week we talked about getting organized in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. And so I got organized in the kitchen. Oh, I got rid of those old pots and pans.
Congratulations.
Pans. I cleaned out all the cupboards inside and out.
Wow.
I cleaned the pantry, the storage room. I tell you, I was just
you were on a mission.
On a mission machine. Yeah. So
good for you.
So thank you to us for motivating me last week.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Well, this is really interesting to me. The cards that came out. So it's number 33.
Oh, I can write it down.
Yeah. You go ahead.
Okay.
And number 32.
33 and 32. Okay.
And there were quite a bit of shuffling in between. Number 33 is single woman's bedroom. And number 32 is children's bedroom.
Oh, wow. That is interesting.
I find that very interesting. One is the fire color, the single woman's bedroom, the element, and the children is wood.
Mm-hmm.
And 33 came out first.
Yeah, that makes sense because a single woman's bedroom, you want to fire it up. So, Connie, maybe
I was going to say, Connie, what the heck is going on, girlfriend? You got some serious energy headed out there.
Maybe, she's been waiting. So maybe this one is for Connie this morning.
I'm not sure. But anyway, so obviously we're talking about bedrooms.
Mm-hmm.
And what I find interesting about this is we'll treat bedrooms similarly, and yet two very different ways of looking at the energy in Feng Shui in these two bedrooms.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So which one do you want to talk about first? Do we want to make Connie wait and be in suspense a little longer? Or
I think so. Of course. Well, the children's bedrooms.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's so important for those little people, right, to get a good night's sleep because
everybody, not just little people.
Well, yes, but the little people, they're growing, right? So they need that extra rest to grow new cells and all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. And quite often what happens in children's bedrooms is they're full of all of this energy, that's talking to them. I've been in so many homes where the children's bedrooms are filled with toys or stuffed animals. I remember, let's see, I think it was last fall, there was a home I went into, and they had it, the whole corner of the child's bedroom had this hammock in the corner, and it was completely filled with stuffed toys.
Mhm.
Like, and it was just like taking up the whole space in the corner of this child's bedroom.
And in their
It was
view.
just like, oh my goodness. And so those, you know, there were hundreds, right? Hundreds of stuffed animals in this hammock. And so just imagine, you know, the little child, and they have these vivid imaginations
Mhm.
that all those little animals and whatever would come to life, just like kind of like the Toy Story, right? So they're constantly talking to them and saying, come over here, let's play, let's play, let's play, let's play. And so it's really hard to get the nervous system to calm down
So they can actually sleep.
and have a little bit of rest. So, you know, I think for parents out there, grandparents, the biggest thing that you can do in a child's bedroom is take out those things that are going to be overstimulating them.
Right.
And think about rest, rejuvenation. What can I do for rest and rejuvenation? And if there's an issue about storage, which oftentimes there is, that, there isn't a designated playroom area or something like that, then really important to have a chest or one of the Rubbermaid tubs or something that you can put those toys to bed at night.
And create
and that might be something, that's kind of fun to do with the kids, hey, let's put your toys to bed.
Exactly. While you're talking about that, I get this image of kids in Toys R Us or a big toy store. Just to liken it to you, and this is a little bit more dramatic, just to bring the point home, but it would be like having your child try to go to sleep in Toys R Us.
Yeah.
They can't. It's too active, it's too busy, there's just so much stimulation, as you said, Anita, going on in that space. And I've also, and I realize it's hard for grandparents and parents and people that love the kids, they want to gift them things. It's hard not to, but if you have hundreds of stuffies, toys, one really must question that. Like,
well, I've seen it. I've seen it.
I've seen it too. I've seen it, but is it possible to maybe work with the child, set some aside, donate some, so other children can have some enjoyment out of those instead of them being collecting dust collectors and stuffed in a corner?
Yeah.
Right.
And,
so when the chest is full, something, it's no different than our closet. If our clothes closet is full, something's got to go out before something comes in. So having a designated toy chest, I think, is a great idea. You were going to say something?
Well, and Kathy just mentioned, and the electronics, right? So, electronics in the children's bedroom, lighting, all of those things. And just think about, what things are in there that are active energy, that are, going to stimulate some activity. Or
that goes for a lot of books.
And I don't know if I've shared this story before, but one of my nieces, quite a few years ago, one of her sons, so she has two sons, and one of her sons he was like I think he was almost 3 years old, And he had never slept a whole night in his own bed. Every night he would wake up in the night and he'd come crawling into bed with mom and dad, right? And so I was at her house and I said, oh, it's this, right away I could see why he wasn't sleeping. Yes, there were a bunch of toys in the room. That was number one. Number two was his bed, right? So he had a one of those bunk bed things where you had like a little play area underneath the bunk bed, and then he slept on the top. And I said to her, and then they had the bunk bed underneath a window.
Oh, okay.
So the fact that this child was going to sleep at night on, elevated, up here. And, we think, oh, up here, well, that's not so high, but, you gotta look at things through their eyes, right? And to think that that's an overwhelming drop, that's intimidating. And then the fact that there's this window beside is like, ooh, what comes in at night, you can't see out, and they live in the country. And, so all of these things are really intimidating to a child. And so it was really just a simple little fix. I said to her, I said, let's take the mattress off the top and put it underneath and make like a little nest over here on the floor. Put some of these toys to sleep. And she did that, and she phones me the next morning and she's like, oh my God, Auntie, you're a miracle worker. He slept for the first time, slept in his room all night, right? And so it was just that simple little adjustment of looking through their view, right? Their perception. How would that make you feel if you were a little child, right? So yeah.
And I think
that was that. Yeah.
I think that is a really good segue. How does that make you feel through energetic eyes into the single woman's bedroom? Because in this case, we've both seen Stuffy's on a bed.
Yes.
Pushed against a wall where the other person can't get in, can't get out. Very, very feminine, very, very frilly. And the ballerina poses or the single woman's poses with her back to you as imagery in single women's bedrooms. Now, if you're a suitor, what does that say to you?
Well, and it's interesting too, like you said, a single woman's bedroom. Again, this reminds me of a single woman, and she had asked me for some feng shui advice, and she had a double bed, I think it was, and she had some stuffed animals on her bed, but one in particular was like this big stuffed bear thing. And she literally, like she said, she would snuggle up with it at night, right? And I said, well, there's no wonder there's not a man in your life, because there's no room. And you've already given the placement to this stuffed bear, right? Well, she laughed, and I said, just try taking that off the bed, and I said, and sleep on the other side of the bed, right? Bring some energy over to the other side of the bed, or sleep in the middle of the bed, because you do. I know when my husband's away working, right? We all have our little side of the bed that we sleep on. And so oftentimes when he is away working, I will sleep in the middle of the bed, right? So it's kind of interesting. Just, again, think about what are you doing in your space, right?
Yes.
Because we're not consciously aware of our habits in that space, right?
100%. Along with that, and as you're talking, is the imagery. And I want to touch on that a little bit more because we see that often in a single person's life. They've surrounded themselves with imagery of single people, of just themselves, of solo, of alone. And that is, excuse me, subliminally reinforcing the being alone part. So shifting that, what is the first thing when you wake up that you're looking at? We've lived in this house for 20 years, practiced feng shui for a long time. I had an aha the other day when I was vacuuming, because at the end of our bed, I had a chair. That's where I would put my stuff. Rod has his chair over closer to where he gets dressed in the morning. That's for his work clothes and stuff like that. So waking up every day, we were looking at one chair, solo. Hello, how about we move the damn chair? It's as easy as picking it up and moving the chair. But that was subliminally reinforcing individualism.
Yeah.
So now the chairs sit across from each other, so they're looking at each other, right?
Yeah.
Simple little things that we don't even see because we become complacent. And there's always room for improvement.
Always. Well, and you know, the thing is too, I mean, we decorate that intimate space, that bedroom, whether it's for, you know, if you're in a relationship or not, we decorate it a certain way, and then maybe it's been like that for years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So again, maybe it's time to, just like I had to do with the pots and pans last week, you know, maybe it's time to spruce up the bedroom furniture.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's time to spruce up the cover, right? The comforter. Maybe it's time, maybe, you know, maybe you've been sleeping on sheets that have, you know, the little cotton balls or piling on them or whatever, right? Maybe it's time to go buy a new set of luxury sheets. Because, you know, if you feel kind of, ooh, right? There's such a difference when you get into a bed that has really nice, comfortable sheets that says, I love you. So whether you are, like I say, whether you're single or not, it's about that self-love too, right?
Absolutely. So let's continue with that, with the single woman's bedroom as well. Is there room? Is there room for a partner in the closet, in the bathroom, in the dresser?
I'm just looking here. We got Kate and Wendy joining us. So hello, lovely ladies.
Good morning. Good morning. So yeah,
Kate, you're such a bright light, and I just want to say I have no more Inspirings.
You gave them all away finally.
Because I gave them away. They're on their way to India. They're in India right now.
That's so cool. So yeah.
Anyways, that was a side note, Kate.
Side note.
Look at that. You got me going here.
It's good to be inspired. So let's go back to, is there room? First, do you want someone else in your life?
Yeah.
If you don't, then it doesn't matter.
Right.
But we go back to, what are the results showing up for you? Are you resting? Are you sleeping well? Right? What are the results showing up for you? If you have someone in your life, or if you want someone in your life and you don't currently have someone in your life, this is more related to that, because we're talking about single woman's bedroom. Is there space for them? Is there space for them in the closet? Is there space for them in the dresser, the bathroom vanity, right? So if you were sharing that space with somebody else, is there room for them? Have you made room for them in your life? metaphorically, physically, and emotionally.
Well, and again, you know, we've seen it so many times, Cheryl, in you know, the ensuite, the
Yes.
vanity, where it's just completely taken over by the woman's stuff,
Mhm.
and the husband or the partner is using the bathroom down the hallway,
Mhm.
right? Or the closet down the hallway. And it's like, you know, that's okay for a little while, but over time, they're going to start to resent that.
Mhm.
And then if they resent that, you know, it's just that festering little, it's like having a thorn under your fingernail. It just keeps festering and festering. And then one day it's like, wow, what's going on?
Mhm.
Okay, so Connie, oh, here's some insight. So she has 2 nightstands.
Mhm.
Yay, that's
Yay.
good. She has a wild woman duvet cover. Well, of course. But she has a single mom statue in the room.
Oh.
And she has space in her closet,
Good girl.
but of course, her space is dominant, right? She's dominating the space.
Mhm.
So again, you know what? Single mom statue in the room. I don't know. How does it make you feel, right? Where did it, what meaning does that statue have for you? Is there something else that you have in your home that you could replace that statue with, that maybe, again, is going to impress upon or impregnate the subconscious mind with the idea of a partnership,
Mhm.
right? A relationship.
Assuming again, of course, she wants to be in one. So you're reading some other comments, I take it, by the look on your face, which is very
Yeah, I'm just, Kathy says clean sheets are the best. Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we want to say anything else about any of that? Does anybody else have any comments, questions?
Yeah. Well, let's add a little bit of the fire to the single woman's bedroom. Again, back to the assumption that you want someone in your life. The color palette in the bedroom is also important. So bringing in a little bit of the fire, a little bit. We're not talking paint 2 walls red.
Yeah.
Because we've seen that, and there was a lot of
Oh, yeah.
arguing going on in that relationship. We're talking about bringing it in bits, you know, a red throw, adding that fire, that warmth, and innately, as soon as you change something like that, you feel it. You'll know, oh, that looks better. That's what was missing.
Mm-hmm.
Your body knows it as soon as you change something like that. I was working with a client a little while ago, and she wanted to warm things up. Actually, it's a couple of years ago now. Anyway, she wanted to warm things up. And just as an example, I brought a red poinsettia into the room. And she went, wow. And it was just introducing a little bit of that fire color
Mm-hmm.
to help balance the energy and to bring in that fire, that romance, right? We call it. Cool. Did you want to add anything to that?
Sometimes you could do that with, like, you know, a little lamp thing like I've got behind me, you know,
Exactly.
a salt lamp, or you know, soft lighting, you know, with your lamp on your nightstands. Yeah,
Well,
there's lots of ways you can bring in that little bit of fire energy.
Yeah. The
Maybe a wild woman duvet cover, right? You've got that leopard kind of print on today, Cheryl. So that's a fire energy, right? Something like that in a couple of throw pillows.
Yeah, not inundated.
A little bit of fire energy.
Yeah. A little bit of fire energy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to sleep under a comforter like this.
Oh, no, that'd be way too much. Yeah.
Way too active. So Again, what results are showing up in your life? What do you want to shift? Where we always start, because feng shui is very, very personal journey, very individual. All right, so then let's talk about, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Let's talk about the numbers, 33 and 32.
There's a lot of threes in there.
You got your book out?
I got my book out. I wasn't sure if you were paused, if the internet decided, or if you were waiting on.
Oh no, I'm waiting for you. I was waiting for you. So that's a 65 total, which is an 11, which is
go ahead.
A 2.
Yes, but it's also a master 11.
Right. 11 is a master number of illumination, enlightenment, and yeah, shining the light on, keeping the light on. And you could do that. You could do that too in your bedroom. You could keep the light on.
Especially something like what you have behind you, or a salt lamp.
Yeah.
Right. They're doing some work instead of just being on. Right?
Yeah.
They're also contributing to the energy in that space. I wanted to talk about the threes, because we've got 3 threes here. So I'm actually going to go to what Adironda has to say about the 333, because that is what's talking to me. So I'm referring to the Double Digitology book, Marilyn Harper, Joy Roby. The 333, or 333 on the clock, is an interesting energy because it is magnifying the energy of the ascended masters. When you start seeing 333s, pay attention, because the masters are working hard to get your attention. It adds up to 9, which is the ending of the cycle of believing that you are alone. Isn't that interesting for single woman's bedroom? When you start seeing 333, ask yourself, do I think that I'm alone? Do I believe that I must be doing everything on my own? Do I rely upon my own ascended masters to assist? When the 333 appears as the 9, it raises itself to the energy of ending a cycle, to embracing the assistance, the ascended masters. Isn't that perfectly fitting?
Perfect. Good morning, Matthew.
To what we were just talking. Matthew might be interested, because we're talking about single women's bedrooms. Anyway.
And Connie said, I'm killing myself over here. An old bedspread of mine was printed like Cheryl's blouse. So an old bedspread of yours. So that's obviously not the one that you're using now. Yay.
Excellent. Any other comments? Anything else that we need to
address? No. Yeah, just Kate says she loves Marilyn Harper, Adironda, and Joy Roby. Yes, we do. We love them. Matthew, I hope you're feeling good and well, and all things are.
And that cute little puppy of yours is going and growing like crazy.
Yeah.
He's got the cutest little puppy.
Okay, well, yeah, thanks for joining us, everybody. And thanks, Kate, all the way from Texas, and Connie all the way from Alaska, and Matthew all the way from, where are you now?
Quebec.
In Quebec,
In Quebec.
I think so.
It's Kathy that's in Alaska. Connie's in Sylvan Lake.
Oh, did I? Sorry. Yeah.
It's all good.
I was looking at Connie's name, thinking about Kathy. So there we go.
Perfect. If you've got any comments or questions, pop it in the chat, because we'll get back to you. Maybe you've got an image that's you're questioning, because it's like, oh, there is some subliminal significance here.
Yeah.
Send us some pictures, pop it in the chat. We're more than happy to give you a hand, have a conversation. We're also on Facebook. So if you've missed an episode, they're all listed on our Facebook, all in alignment.
On our YouTube.
Oh, and well, they're all in our Facebook too. There we go. We're both having a tongue twisting issue today. You know, it just is. I get twisted like my hair. You know.
Yeah, it's all good.